Long, long ago, in a peaceful village surrounded by green mountains, there lived a kind old man. He was known throughout the village for his warm smile and gentle heart. Although he lived a simple life, he greeted each day with gratitude and always tried to help others whenever he could. The old man had a large round wen on his right cheek. It had been there for many years, but he never let it trouble him. He believed that kindness and a joyful heart were far more important than appearance. He lived with his loving wife in a small wooden cottage near the edge of the forest. Together, they tended a little vegetable garden and enjoyed quiet evenings by the fire. Though they had very little, they felt grateful for the peaceful life they shared. Every morning, the old man walked into the forest carrying a basket and a small axe. Sunlight streamed through the tall cedar trees as birds sang cheerful songs above him. The peaceful forest always filled his heart with happiness. As he gathered firewood, he quietly hummed little tunes to himself. Small animals watched him without fear, and colorful butterflies fluttered through the gentle breeze. The forest felt calm, warm, and full of life. One afternoon, dark clouds slowly covered the bright blue sky. A cool wind swept through the trees, and the birds suddenly became quiet. The old man realized that a storm was on its way. Soon, heavy rain began to fall, and thunder echoed across the mountains. Looking around, the old man spotted a giant hollow tree nearby. He quickly climbed inside and waited for the storm to pass. The rain continued through the evening, filling the forest with the sound of falling water. As the old man rested inside the tree, he listened peacefully to the gentle rhythm of the storm. Before long, the forest became strangely quiet. Then, from somewhere deep among the trees, he heard the sound of drums. Lively music, cheerful singing, and joyful laughter drifted through the night air. The old man had never heard anything quite like it before. Curious, he carefully peeked outside the hollow tree. In a moonlit clearing, a group of colorful oni danced around a glowing bonfire. Their laughter echoed through the forest as they celebrated beneath the shining moon. The old man watched the lively celebration with great wonder. The oni laughed, clapped their hands, and danced around the glowing fire. Before he knew it, his feet began moving to the cheerful rhythm. Unable to resist the joyful music, the old man stepped into the clearing. He bowed politely to the oni and joined their dance. With a bright smile, he twirled, clapped, and danced with all his heart. For a moment, the oni stared at the unexpected visitor. Then they burst into laughter and happily danced beside him. The moonlit forest echoed with music, laughter, and the sound of dancing feet. The old man forgot all about the storm and simply enjoyed the moment. His movements were full of energy, kindness, and happiness. The Oni had never seen anyone dance with such a joyful heart. When the music finally came to an end, the chief of the Oni stepped forward. "You are a wonderful dancer," he said with a broad smile. "We would be delighted if you returned to dance with us again tomorrow night." The old man thanked the Oni for their kindness. "I would be honored to visit again," he replied with a respectful bow. The Oni cheered happily at his answer. "To make sure you return," the Oni chief said with a grin, "we shall keep something precious until tomorrow." With a gentle touch, he carefully removed the old man's wen. To the old man's surprise, it did not hurt at all. The old man touched his cheek in amazement. The heavy wen that had been with him for so many years had completely disappeared. His face felt lighter than ever before. As the first light of morning appeared beyond the mountains, the Oni waved goodbye. The old man thanked them once again before making his way home through the quiet forest. His heart was as light as his smiling face. When he arrived home, his wife could hardly believe her eyes. "The wen is gone," she exclaimed with delight. Soon, the neighbors gathered to hear the old man's wonderful story. News of the wonderful event soon spread throughout the village. Among those who heard the story was another old man who also had a large wen. His wen was on his left cheek. Instead of feeling happy for his neighbor, the old man became jealous. If the Oni removed his wen, he thought, they will surely remove mine as well. So he decided to visit the forest on the very next stormy evening. Just as before, dark clouds filled the sky and rain began to fall. The old man found the same hollow tree and quietly waited inside. Soon, the sound of drums and laughter echoed through the forest once again. The Oni gathered around the bonfire, expecting to see their cheerful dancing friend return. When they noticed the old man, they welcomed him with happy smiles. "Come, let us dance together again," called the Oni chief. The old man stepped into the circle and tried to copy the dance he had heard about. He waved his arms and stamped his feet, but his movements felt stiff and forced. His heart was filled with envy instead of joy. Before long, the Oni quietly stopped playing their music. The chief looked at the old man with a disappointed expression. "This is not the joyful dance we remember," he said gently. "We thought our cheerful friend had returned," said another Oni. "A dance is most beautiful when it comes from a happy heart." The old man lowered his head, saying nothing. The Oni chief opened the small wooden box. Inside was the first old man's wen, kept safely just as they had promised. "If this belongs to no one," he said, "perhaps you should have it instead." With a gentle touch, they placed it beside the old man's own wen. Now the old man had a wen on both cheeks. Ashamed of his selfishness, he quietly walked home beneath the moonlit sky. Along the way, he began to understand that envy had only made him unhappy. From that day on, the villagers often told the story of the two old men. They remembered that kindness, gratitude, and a joyful heart are treasures greater than appearances or good fortune. And so beneath the quiet mountains, the tale of the dancing old man was passed down from one generation to the next. The end.